It's October 24th, 2017, and I have some stories to share with you today about a person that really became the ultimate executor. Being that he controlled his estate and he didn't give out information, and it's important, it's critical. If you're trying to be the executor, or you're updating your status from someone that really doesn't know anything, or someone that's been programmed, and you're trying to survive in society, to understand that there's steps you have to take to be responsible. And a little story that goes along with this to explain that no one can interfere with your estate unless you allow them to. And you've been allowing them to. You've been causing these injuries, or you've been getting this credit, or these court cases, or DUI, or IRS, problems, or you're probably fighting with everyone in your life. It's like everybody has a mental illness or something. No one knows how to line things up correctly, and it costs them either family, loved ones leave them, whatever your issue might be. You're trying to get back to the beginning is where you should start. I mean, don't you agree? Well, this video is about a friend of mine that, per my instruction through life as I've known my friend over, years and years, I kept explaining that every time he got in trouble or something happened, he gave him information. He talked to him. They gave his name. He gave his age. Well, what do you need your age for? I mean, he gave his address. I mean, why do they need to know his address? They go through all these things, and then all of a sudden he's under arrest. All of a sudden he's going to jail. Walking down the street or driving down the road. And, this person was actually arrested by the sheriff's department, and they had I think approximately 5 warrants for this person. There was 6 because the numbers on the warrants were out of order, and I believe there was 6, but they figured out they couldn't get this other warrant off, and they didn't present it. Well, they arrest him, they take him in. He started the spiel like I had taught him. He said he needed to view the warrant, and they brought out the warrant, and of course he never gave his name. He never gave any information. He just said he wanted to remain silent, that he didn't authorize or consent to anything they were doing. And they gave him the warrants, and they laughed. And he looks at it and he says, "Where's the rest of this warrant?" They thought they had him good. Here it is, this warrant. They got an official warrant. And he says, "Where's the rest of this warrant?" He totally hit him blindsided. He said, "Where's the rest of this warrant?" And they said, "Well, that's all we got to have." He said, "Oh no." He said, "You're supposed to have an affidavit attached to every warrant in this country signed by the judge. And there's process where the people before him that present it to him have to have an affidavit, and the people before them." Well, they didn't do this, because once they do this, it makes them liable. Well, to make a long story short, he gave it back to them. He pushed it under the door and laughed at them and went and sat down in the holding cell. Well, he had a visit from the sheriff the next day for approximately 4 hours, and he went over everything, that he isn't consenting, and he doesn't agree, and they can't administrate his estate, and he's never going to cooperate with anything, and they need warrants, and there's no way they're ever going to get it. He's never signed a fingerprint card. He's not letting them take his picture, or any of those things. Well, on the second day, the sheriff's talking to him. The sheriff gets so frustrated he leaves. Well, then all of a sudden, you didn't realize that the administrator of that court, which administrates you, and somehow they monetize this in their system. I mean, why is half the courthouse courtrooms, and then the other half of the courthouse is, it's a pretty good sized building. There's all these people working in these offices behind all these locked doors. I mean, what's going on? I mean, they're administrating us. And it's clear. Well, the administrator, which I never really knew existed until a year ago. You know, I've been my whole life. I'm 54. I never even knew this person existed. You know, he pops into my buddy's cell and talks to him for a few minutes, and you know, he's not going to book in, and he's not signing nothing, and he's not eating no food or nothing like that, because he doesn't consent to any of this. He didn't injure no one or hurt nobody or harm nobody or cause anyone any loss. And he gets this man so frustrated that this man says, "I want you out of my jail." And he tells him, "I have a warrant in another county and you guys are never going to let me go." He said, "No, seriously. I will pop this garage door right now and you can leave here. And I will give you my word, nothing will happen." And you know, he called on the radio and opened this guy's cell, and he couldn't collect any money. And he tells him, "You're free to go." And he gets on the radio and says, you know, "Pop the garage door, we have one inmate leaving," or whatever. And he walks right out that door with a warrant from another county and everything. And they threw him out of this jail, literally. But hopefully you don't have to go to any extremes like this. But, you know, what else can you do? I mean, really. If you're administrating your estate, you never consent, you never agree, and if you never harmed, injured, or made someone lose something, there's no man with a claim. You should never be incarcerated. And I thought it was pretty funny, and I wanted to share that story with you. And they held him approximately 2 days, and they begged him to get out of that jail. So it just goes to show you, if you know the basic things and you go back and start your life from the beginning, and you notify these people, you know, the IRS, that you're a non-decedent, you notify the Social Security Administration that you're the executor, you send notice to all these agencies to quit administrating you, and you set up your EIN, and you get your passport, and you do your office at the post office, and you take care of these injuries, and you administrate your estate, you be the responsible party in the future. That's what a lot of people are looking for. And you quit causing injuries in the future, because you do this paradigm shift, and you do it correctly. People do the cart before the horse, and they're over here when it should be this way, and it's being irresponsible. You know, and you have to be responsible in your life, whatever it takes. You know, those kind of my thoughts for today. And this is video number 12. And if you find this helpful, or you would like to talk to me, my number is 419-560-6337, and there's a PayPal donation link at the bottom here. And please go back and watch and subscribe my videos. Okay? I'll see you next time.